Hello guys and girls, welcome to another exciting tutorial on JavaFX. So in this tutorial we're going to be building a simple calculator, like just a simple calculator pop-up window with SceneBuilder and Eclipse as well. So we are saying bye to the old Swing. I know that it's reliable, it's like a old pickup library. We can use Swing and most people know how to use it. It gets the job done, but it's not fancy. I know we like making things fancy, so but I think since we are moving into the future and things are enhancing, you will learn. I think it's very good to learn more on JavaFX. So in this tutorial, we are going to be building this from scratch. So it's just a simple tutorial. I can add, subtract. Okay, let me do something more. Yeah, so I can add. So you can add, you can subtract, you can multiply, you can divide, and you can find the mode as well. So it's just a simple calculator. It will teach you a little bit of problem solving skills and a brief learning, but I'm going to be diving deeper into JavaFX in the next videos I'll be creating. But in this video, it will be mostly just for the simple calculator and setup from scratch. Okay, so if you haven't come across my video before, don't forget to like and subscribe because I post new programming videos every week. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so next step we're going to be taking, we're going to go to our Eclipse. So this one is setting up Eclipse tutorials, so you can watch other tutorials for setting up your Eclipse. So I already have my Eclipse installed. So you click on your Eclipse if you have one, because we're going to be using Eclipse for this tutorial. My last video, I think I used IntelliJ IDE, but this time around we're going to be using Eclipse. So you can see the hierarchy I used for my folder. You can do anything you like. You can see it's my desktop and a folder, and then a folder named ChatGPT calculator app. So we are going to be starting from scratch. So the next thing we're going to do, we just simply launch it, launch, launch, yeah. So it takes time a little bit. It takes time, then boom, it opens, and yeah, so you see this workspace. I'll just open it and zoom it in a little bit. I don't know if it can zoom in. Oh, just leave it like this. I think it works. So then the next thing, I would not create a new project yet. I would then firstly, before we get started, we already have our workspace. You can see it on top here. Oh god, I mistakenly moved this. So next thing we're going to be doing, you go to the help. So if you go to this help, firstly you say help, you click on it, and I'll take my time to explain so no one gets behind, so we won't repeat this step in other videos, so we can just start building, right? We'll just dive in building stuffs with SceneBuilder, so I don't want anyone to get stuck or missed anywhere. So after clicking on help, you click on install new software, install new software. So you see, I'll repeat myself a little bit more so no one gets lost. So you click on install new software, and if you click on it, and you see this something like this. So you see the place we need is this work with. You see something like work with, select type or select a site. So work with what I have some links opened in my notes so I would not forget. So I'll just open my notes a little bit. So in the work with text box, type or copy this. So we have two links. So this one is old and deprecated, and so we don't need it. So we're going to use this one right here. So I'll just copy the download HTTPS, and I'll just copy it, then I'll close this for a little while and then paste it here. So this is what you need. So I'll be putting this link in the description of this video, so don't worry about anything. So this is what you will need in the work with. I'll be pasting my notes in the description, everything, all the links I provided in my notes in the description of this video. So this is what you paste here, and next one you're going to do, just click on FX runtime, FX runtime. So it says two items selected, and then you see FX runtime, and that's it. So leave the FX target, just this one, And yeah, so that's it. So the next thing you're going to do is you just click on next. So nothing else to click on. You just see next. Okay, it's going. So it takes a little bit of time. Okay, I'll just wait for it to finish. And all right, so it's done. So it takes time. Don't worry if it's taking time in yours. It always takes time. So after it's most of the time it shows me this, and I don't know why, but I would now say next. And this one, I don't think it should waste any time. And click on finish. Great, so it's done. And what's this? What's this? So I'll just I don't know what this is. God, always trust the you. Okay, we'll just remove this. And next thing we're going to be doing is we're not going to create a new project yet. But if you want, you can just create a new project. But trust me, don't just follow the steps I take in this video so you don't have any issue. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'll go back to my notes and you type the following URL in your browser. So I'll just copy this. So, but I'll be posting this again, as I said earlier, in the description of this video. So I'll just copy this and open my browser and paste it. And okay, so you see this. So you go down and download this. So you see like on Windows, because I'm working with Windows. I don't know about Linux actually, to be honest. So mostly for Windows users, but if you're using Linux as well or um, any other operating system, you have to download the SDK, not the J modes. So if you see, if I hover around the download, you see, I don't know, I'm going to show it to you guys. There is something that shows down. There's something that shows down here that says about what we're going to download. So if I hover around this, you see something that shows down here. Okay, so you make sure that what you're downloading is this Open JFX 2.3. So it depends on the upgrade. So this is the latest upgrade I had when I set up my JavaFX. So you make sure it's like this part, not J mode. So this SDK should be SDK, not J modes. Okay, so you download the zip folder, make sure it's like this. So depending on your version, it might be like 25, 24, anything, but mine is 23, as you can see. So you just download it. So the latest one I think is 25, but I'm working with 23. So but it doesn't matter actually, it's just give me like few warning that I need to upgrade or something like that, but it still works. Okay, so you download it, and the next thing we're going to do is, and then if I go to, and after unzipping my files, you will, like, after unzipping, after downloading the zip folder, you have to unzip it. And if you click on it, I don't show all my downloads, that's why I've already clicked on it, so you can see this. So you click on it again, so you see this folder here. Make sure you see these four folders: bin, legal, lib, and src. So for the lib, I'll click on the lib. You see all this thing that has like .jar, .jar. So these are the most important things you need, like in the folder. That's the thing you need to get started. I don't think others are required to get started with JavaFX, unless in a future tutorial if I see the use of it. But in this video, we're going to be working with just this jar files. Okay. So what I will do is you click on it, hold your shift, click, 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 and you click everything like this. Oh god, yeah, I just want to show you guys that you click everything, and after clicking it, you press Ctrl C. I'm not renaming anything. So you press Ctrl C. So me, how I used to do to stay organized, since we're going to be needing only these jar files, what I'm going to be doing next is, if I go to the window, to my local disk, this one, I'll go to you see I created a folder. So you just click on Ctrl Shift N, and you see I created a folder, JavaFX folder. So I just do it like that to stay organized. You can do anything you want, but I created a folder in my local disk. So if you click on my local disk, what you see is this, bin, and the lib, the jar files. So all you just need to do is, I'll just go back a little bit. Yeah, so I'll go back again. So yeah, these four folders. So if you click one, you shift, click this one, click this one, click this one. From the open zip folder that you unzipped, I assume you unzipped it, you click on it and get these four folders. You Control C, you copy, go to your local disk or any other folder. So as for me, I created a JavaFX folder and then Control V and paste it here, right here, because we're going to need it when working. So back to our IntelliJ, our Eclipse, I mean to say. The next thing after that, you go to Windows Preferences, and after Windows Preferences, you go to Java. This one, I don't want to zoom this, so I'll just go to Java. And let me see if I can widen this screen a little bit. I'll widen this one as well. Okay, so you see, after going, I'll do it again for those that missed it. So I'll cancel Windows Preferences. You go to your Java and build paths. Go to your build paths like this, and you see something they said users libraries. Users libraries. So that lib file that you remember we downloaded, we need it as well. Okay, so go to the user libraries, and if I click on it, you'll see we have nothing. It's empty, right? So I'll say new library because we don't have anything yet. So I'll say new library. What would be the library name? So I'll just call it JavaFX lib, like this, like library, JavaFX lib. Don't check this, just leave it like this. So you say okay. Great, okay. So the next thing we're going to be doing is after naming this JavaFX lib, we'll say add external jars, right? So we'll say add external jars, and what you do, you go to your local disk, JavaFX file that I created earlier, the lib, and then you copy all this, you click on it, then shift and start clicking, you hold your shift and start clicking, and you now see open like this. So you can see it have opened all the whole libraries in this place. I hope you didn't miss anything out. So it has opened the libraries, and the next thing we're going to do is you say apply and close. So you say apply and close, and what's this again? So apply and close. I think I should just delete this. I don't think it's necessary because it doesn't pop out before. So the next thing we're going to be doing is after that we're going to say, now this is the next step. We are diving in. I just hope this video I know this video will be long, but I just hope you stick with me. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to create a new project. So you go to your file, oh god, file, new, and we'll say new, not project. You click on order, file, new, and you say order. So what do you want? You swipe down. Since you have done all your installations and everything, you see a JavaFX file right here. Okay, so if you click on it, you see JavaFX project here. Okay, so we are going to still work with this, but for now we just need to create a project to start with. So you click on the JavaFX project, and yeah, you see something like this. What's your project's name? I'll just call it calculator like this. But if you see, it says discourage the module name. By convention, module name starts with a lowercase letter. So to be safe, I usually, let me just add a lowercase, and I'll say simple calculator, like a camel case. So you see that it's now like no more issues, so you can create it safely. But if yours doesn't show the warning, you are good to go. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to untick this. Okay, this would be ticked. Sometimes even if you untick it, it will still create the module info, but we don't need it. But I'll untick it, and I'll just simply click on let me see next, then another thing, and okay, nothing else, so no other thing, so you just say finish. Okay, so after finishing the progress like this, no, don't open perspective, you say no. Okay, no, and it creates a project. If you go to it, you see that it's showing an X there. Go, and if you go to it, you see how the project I've already set up some things for you like this. So inside the source, you have applications and module info. Firstly, this dude has to go, right? So you click, okay, I'll right click on it again, and we'll delete the guy. Oh yeah, deleting. I don't think it's necessary. So the next thing we're going to do, go to applications and go to main.java. I'll click it again. You go to main.java and boom, you see an error. Okay, step by step, as we're building the application, we're going to fix these errors, right? So that's the thing. And if you have seen this, and if you're on track, that means you're getting somewhere, right? So the next thing we're going to do is after that, after deleting it, so the next thing we're going to be doing is after creating the project, and okay, hold on. Okay, so this error is like a normal thing to get after starting it. So I would just right click on the main folder, the simple calculator folder, right click on it, and you see something like build path, right? So if you click on build path, you see configure build path right here, configure build paths, and you see like this. So we just need something, we just have to do something simple. And you see Java build paths. Where's this? I don't see. You go to libraries, yeah, right. Libraries. You see, initially it will be in order and export. So you go to libraries right here. Libraries. It should be here. So you click on libraries. You see something like class paths, like this class paths. So all you need to do is I'll click on the class paths and class paths, and I'll say after clicking on the class paths, I'll say add library like this. So if you see the class path, make sure you're on the class path, you see add library. So they'll say which library do you want. Most times it used to be here, but you have to click the user library. So the user library, you say next, and then Java FX lib like this. The one we created earlier that we put all our Java files that I named Java FX lib, right? So you click on it and you say finish. So you see we are getting somewhere, right? We have, so after clicking on that, you see your class path has Java FX lib. Okay. So you see apply is applied, and you now see apply and close. Okay. Boom, the error is gone. So that's just what they need. They needed those libraries to get started with Java FX. Okay. So that's not the end of it. We are still just getting started. Okay. So I just hope this video won't be that long, but yeah, I'll just make sure I explain everything as we are going on. So the next thing, so you say okay, we are good to go, so let's run it. Maybe you'll see a window that pop out, right? So if I run this program like this, okay, let me run it and hold on. So you say main application, right? And you say okay, and boom, you see an error. Yeah, you see an error. So the error says JavaFX runtime components are missing and are required to run this application. So we have the error is just yeah, you need a component. So how are we going to get the component? So the first thing we're going to do, beside the run, this button that said run main, beside it, you say click on it, you see run configurations like this. So if you click on run configurations, okay, so you say and module parts. Why is this tightened up? You go to, I think you go to arguments, right? You go to arguments, then the VM arguments. So the VM arguments, you have like a module part in it, and so the VM arguments, we need something for it, a module part for the VM arguments, right? So if I go back to my notes, which I said I'll be posting in my description of the video, in the description of this video. So you copy this module part. So make sure the thing, it's the part is like this. So you can see in my C drive, I have a folder called JavaFX right here, right? So I have a folder called JavaFX, and inside it I have a lib folder where all my libs are. So you just copy this module part. So depending on how you did yours, and that's why I did mine inside my C drive, so it will be easy to create like a module part. So make sure it's like your own module part for it, your own part in your files or anywhere you kept your lib files, right? So I'll go and the same thing I copied, I'll paste it here, and Yeah, so after I paste it there, there's nothing else to click, right? I will say, and okay, so I'll say run. Okay, so you see now the error is gone and it just shows this thing. So it means we are not yet done with it, right? We are not yet done. It said module JavaFX controls not found. So the next thing, we're going back to the run config again. I'll click on it, run configurations, and this time around we're going to dependencies. You see that they said that the module JavaFX control not found. So what you need, all you just need to do is to remove it from the class part. So if I click on this, I'll say I need to remove. Okay, remove it from the class part, remove. Okay, so you see it's gone. Then I'll go to the module part, the module entries, and I'll say you click on advanced. I'll do it again. So you remove it from the class entries, go to the module part entries and click on advanced. So if you click on advanced, you'll see this. If you click on advanced, you see this little pop-up window, right? So you now click on add library and you say okay, add library, okay, and it's already highlighted on user library. So you say next. So we already have this JavaFX lib that we created earlier, you remember, right? So you click on it and you now say finish. So okay, so you apply this and then you now say, and you now say, after applying you now say run. Okay, now boom, when you run it, you see a small screen that does absolutely nothing. But if you got to this point, you know that we're moving forward, right? So now you can play around, you can just yeah, it means that we have gotten somewhere, right? So this thing is yeah, so the pop-up screen is there, and yeah, we're good to go. So that's it. So you can close this up so we can start setting up our own application. So the next thing we're going to be doing is I would okay. So after seeing the pop-up screen, we need to start up our own application. We need a scene builder, right? So if you click on firstly, we'll go to applications right here and I'll right click on it and I'll say new order. So if you go to new application, don't click any of these, you see other projects, so we can get the JavaFX. So remember this new fxml document we say new fxml document, right? If you click on it and you click on next like this, it won't take you next place. I don't know why, but it won't take you to the next thing. So all you just have to do to fix it is, so if I'll go out from it and I will just say, I'll click on applications, new, and I'll just say new file, new file. So the file name would be, I'll just say calculator dot fxml. So you just use the dot fxml to know the path, right? So you now say finish. Yeah, so boom, so that's it. So you don't because the thing won't take us next, so we just have to create it like a new file and make sure you put the file extension .fxml. Okay, so you see we're getting started, we're going somewhere, right? So the next thing, if you click on this, you see something like open with SceneBuilder, but if I click on it right now, I'm going to get an error. So if I click on it, opening the file SceneBuilder failed. Try setting the absolute path to SceneBuilder in your preferences. You say okay, so you see it's failed, right? So what I'm going to do is, and then that's where our next step comes in. Okay, so if I go to my notes right here, so this is the last thing we're going to do. So what else? We're going to like normally code and drag and drop, just easy stuffs. So the next thing, you need a scene builder. To be honest, I already have a scene builder application, but I'm going to show you guys how. I already have a scene builder in my system already. So you just go copy it. So I'll just copy the HTTPS and I will copy this, and then if you go to your Chrome, this one, the same way we did Java, it's still the same parts though, but you just have to like say products, and this time around it's just SceneBuilder and not like Java, not like JavaFX, like SceneBuilder, right? So if you click on it, and you see this just very easy thing to download. You download and click next, 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 do the rightful thing, and you get your scene builder. So I already have my scene builder, and they'll show you the parts of the scene builder. Make sure you copy the parts when downloading, right? So I would show you guys mine. uh, so if you look at my file already, I've already downloaded my scene builder, right? So there's no, and yeah, that's it. It's once you have your scene builder, all you need to know is where is your scene builder in your computer, and is that just all you need to know, the location of your scene builder, so you can work with it. So to clear that error we were getting in our when we run our program, when we open with scene builder, to clear the error, you go to Windows, Preferences, and go to JavaFX and JavaFX. JavaFX. So you go to JavaFX, yes, exactly. So you see JavaFX Scene Builder, and you click on Browse. You click on Browse. Yeah, so if you see we are still in our Java file, so I'll just go back to my local disk. So in my local disk, that's where I find my scene builder. So if I click on my scene builder, you see this. So if you click on it, it puts something like this. So if you see, make sure you have the .exe in the scene builder, right? So if you click on this, if you have this, or if you know your path, you can just copy and paste, or you can just browse and look for it, right? So the next thing I'm going to do, we are going to say no need to fill anything in this one. It's not yet, we're not using it for now. So we say apply, it's good, and then you say apply and close. I don't know why it keeps giving me this window, but sorry, I'm going to remove it, please. So now if I click open with SceneBuilder, and hold on, it takes time. I think I have an application like this, but I just okay. So you see calculator.fxml, and boom, we are in our scene builder, right? So now this thing is just like, all you need to do is design your thing, design what you need to do, or you can just join me or make your own design, your own styling. So but I'll just make it brief so this video won't be that long, right? So now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to build our GUI, graphical user interface, by just dragging and dropping items, so our window pop-up would be cool and look interesting, right? So the next thing I'm going to be using, I'm using an anchor pane, right? I'm using an anchor pane for this. So, and yeah, I'll be using an anchor pane like this. So if I go right here, anchor pane, I'll click on it and I'll drag it and I'll drop it. So you see our anchor pane. Oh god, I made two anchor pane. So I'll have to delete one. Delete. Okay, so we have like one anchor pane, right? So the next thing we're going to be doing is I need for our last application, I need we need input text, right? Input text, enter the first number, enter the second number, buttons, and the results, input text, right? So the next thing we're going to be doing is I'll just start for the library. I'll say label, sorry, label. So this label, I'm going to click on it, and yeah, I'll just drag it and drop it right here, and I will expand it a little bit so it would be big and visible like this. So we just play around with it, right? So I'll now go inside the label. I'll call it simple calculator like this. So simple calculator. So if I go, so these properties, we have three things right there. We have properties, layout, and code, right? So if I go to the properties, I have simple calculator is the text, the font is system, and 12 pixels, right? So I'll go to the font family because I like Georgia, and I'll change it to Georgia, and I'll go to the size, and I would make it 24, so it would be a little bit bigger, right? So I'll just click anywhere, and boom, it's good, right? So the text fill, I'll make it, and I have a favorite color, so just click on BADA55, right? So I'll now click on it. So yeah, so that's how I got this color I used in the, yeah, so that's it. So you can see our simple calculator, the title. So I'll just move it a little bit so it will be in the middle, or anyway, just move it so it will look cool, right? So The next thing we're going to be doing is we need an input field, a text field, I mean to say. So you would click on like text field, right? So click on this text field, the one without a blue, you drag it, you drop it right there. Yeah, let's just drop it to here. And then what should be in the text field? Let's go to the property, so we'll style it a little bit. So the font, I'll just make it Georgia as well, so it looks cool. And the size, I'll leave that 12, or let me make it 14. Or yeah, 14 would be good, right? So I'll now click anywhere and prompt text. Let's put a prompt text. Remember, prompt text is different from text. Prompt text is what we want the user to do. So I'll say enter the first number, right? So I'll now click on it. So you see in our interface we have enter the first number. So let's make this a little bit wider, like this, and this. Okay, so enter the first number. What else are we missing? So you can style it anyhow you want, right? So I'll just, let me make it a little bit longer. So I'll just copy Ctrl C and I'll paste Ctrl V, and I will drag this and I will drop it right below here. Okay, so now the next one, for this other one, I will see enter the second number. So I'll just go like enter the second number, like this, same Georgia and stuff like that. So enter the second number. So we need I'll still paste another one right here as well. So I'll now click, this one will be for our results, for like the final results, right? But this time around I'll expand it a little bit, so it would be like, you know, results, stuff like that. And so for the prompt text, I'll say the final results displays here, right? So I'll click enter and you see the final result displays here. So this time around I want to, let's style it a little bit, so you can see this very it's a very cool thing, right? JavaFX CSS. So now just if you have a little bit knowledge of CSS, you will be able to style your stuff, right? So what I'm going to be doing is I'll make the fonts bold. So fx/font size, I'll say fonts. I need font weight. Yeah, font weight. So font weight is bold, or you can just say 800, and boom, your font weight is bold. And what else we're going to do? We are going to do, and the next thing we're going to do, let me just add like a little bit of border color around it, so it will mix to be cool. So I'll say border. Where's this? Oh yeah, border color, right? So the border color, I'll use my favorite color. Okay. All right. So the next thing, I think we'll just leave it like this, so this video won't take too long, right? So the next thing we're going to we need is like, we need a text. Sorry, we need a button. I mean to say, so button. You say this thing, they said okay, so you just drag it and drop it right here, right? So we'll just increase it a little bit, style it, and use it for all our buttons, right? So you go, let's increase the button a little bit so it looks cool. Increase it like this so it looks cool, right? And I'll just move it up a little bit, right? Yeah, good. So let's style the button. So it's just have text button. So we'll just call this one capital add. We'll make it Georgia, right? And where's it? Georgia, normal font. And oh, what's this? Sorry, I mistakenly clicked on this. So I'll just clear it. Go down back to our application and add, right? So the color, let's style the background color. So we'll go to our CSS. Where's the CSS class? Oh god, yeah, this one. CSS background color. I'll use my best color, right? Use my best color, and boom, we style the add button. So we use our font weight. We can use our font weight. Why is this? I said I need Georgia, right? Georgia, like this. Okay, so it doesn't change, but don't worry, we can still change it in our text field, right? So the next thing we're going to do is then the again, let's just add like font weight, right? I'll just say fx slash, not this, fx/font weight. Font weight would be 800. Add, let's add our font family here, right? And I'll make it Georgia. Okay, good. So now we have a button. So all we need to do is just copy, paste it. So this one would be let's say sub. I'll just clean the text. I'll say sub, enter. Then I'll paste another one, Control V. So I'll paste another one. I pasted two, so I'll drag this one, drop it here. I'll drag this one, drop it here, right? Then I would, so this one will be multiply, MTY, and I'll make this one divide, DIV, right? And I'll paste another one as well, Control V, and I'll make it modular, so we can work with the modular separator as well. So I need it to like align with the other one. So I'll just reduce this text field a little bit like this. No, not the buttons, the text field, right? So we'll reduce the text field. No, keep the text field there. So I just want to reduce the text field, right? So I'll just reduce the text field so we can put this guy right here, right? So I'll now like change this to mode like this. So this is just like our simple calculator GUI, graphical user interface. So you can style anything you want, like just make it cool, right? Make it cool. So this just like for the styling. So we'll go into the functionality. Firstly, we need to make sure that it pops out in our screen, right? So I'll go back to my application, and so we are back in our application. So what we need to do is if we run the application, we won't still see our app, right? So if I go to my main.java, if I run the application, and wait, firstly we need to see our fxml. So if you go to your fxml, oh, it's still empty. We made a mistake somewhere. So if you go back to your scene builder, after everything you built, make sure you Control S or you just click on save, right? So if you save it, you see change is saved to calculator.fxml. So now if you go back, boom, you see this is already inputted in your fxml document, right? So if you can see all the properties we have, the anchor pane, the text field. You don't need to know all these things, just build your thing, design it. You can also add designs here, search for designs, add it to make your things more cool, right? So the next thing we're going to do for the main.java, if you run this application, it won't give you your what you need, right? It won't give you what you need, right? Like if you run it, hold on. So it just gives you an empty blank window. Why? Okay, so the next thing we know is that we are not getting the resource yet. So what we are going to be doing is then we are going to type in something. So we are going to, I'll just comment this, right? I'll just go in front of this and I'll comment it, right? So the next thing I'm going to do, we're going to change this to like parents root is equals fxml loader. So as you're typing it, it will be like helping you to import some things, right? So fxml loader dot load. So I'll put this, so you see it helps me import some things automatically. fxml loader dot load, and I'll say get class, like in camel casing, get class, and then I'll say dot get resource. You can see the suggestion that Eclipse is giving, right? Get resource, and which resource are we trying to get? Then in double quotes, we're going to specify. So we want to get our calculator .fxml. So make sure you specify the extension and don't forget your semicolon at the end. So if you see we are still having an error here, so all we need to do is just import the parent java.fxscene, and boom, everything is fine and we're good to go, right? So we'll save our application and we will run it. Now if you run it, 1 2 and go. Oh god, the application is not showing very well, right? And it's like disorganized. So what you have to do is just click on it. It's just an easy fix. You see it's 400. All you need to do is just change it to like 600. I think this is the best way, the best possible one. Change the first 400 to 600. So if you save it and run it again, okay, boom, that's our simple calculator, right? But it's not doing anything yet. If you add, if you subtract, if you do anything, it won't like work, right? Because we just designed the interface, we have not yet added any functionality to it, right? But in this video I'll be showing you guys like tips and tricks on what we're going to be doing. This video is long, but I just hope you watch to this part. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we have to add functionality to it, right? We have to add functionality to it, so I'll just cancel this. And nextly, we'll have to create like a calculator dot. We have to create a calculator controller. If you have, like, most people are confused, like, what's a controller? So if you think of what's a controller is like um it's like MVC model view controller. So the controller is more basically what you need to run, add all the whole functionalities you need to add in your application, right? So if I go to my application, how to create a controller, I'll say new. I'll now say Java class because it's a class, right? So I'll now call it calculator controller, like this. Okay, so do we need anything else? No. Calculator controller, so we'll say finish, and boom, we have a calculator controller.java package. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is let's configure our stuffs, right? So I'll go back to my scene builder. Hold on. I'll go back to my scene builder, right? So the first thing we have is like an input field. Now we don't need properties again. I'm done for styling because this video is getting too long, right? So I'll go to the code, this one, code. So what's the identity? So we have to give all of them an ID. So I'll call this one text. I'll just say txt number one, right? So I'll see you don't have any action, just we need to give it an ID, right? So I'll now click enter, so it's done. So I'll go to the second one. The ID for the second one would be txt number two, right? Click enter, so it's done. So I'll go to this final result. What would be the ID? The ID would be, I'll just say txt, like text output, right? And I'll click enter. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, our buttons, we need to give our buttons ID as well. So if we go, I'll just call this one btn button add, like this. Okay, so if I click on, I'll say button add, click, then on action I'll say button add underscore clicked. So this is like a function we're going to be building. Don't worry, don't get confused. You just need ID for buttons and not action. What will happen if you click on the button, right? So if I do the click and I click on enter, button add, go to subtract, do the same thing, button sub, and I'll now go here and I'll say button sub underscore clicked, like this, right? So go to multiply, the same thing, button mty button mty underscore clicked. So you can name it anything though. I want to be fast, so because this video is long, to be honest. So I have so this one will be button, so button divide for the divide. This one will now be button div underscore clicked. You can add more things to your calculator, right? But you just need to understand the basics of how it works, right? So you now say this one will be button mode, right? Button mode, and this one will be button mode underscore clicked, right? Like this, right? So I'll enter and click here, click our anchor pin. So that's all the thing we need. So all you need to do, you just do like file and you will save. Okay, it says saves. We have saved it. So there's a shortcut I'm going to be sharing to only the people that watch to this part. So if you go to view, you see show samples controller skeleton. So this thing is a very good thing that I guess nobody knows about. You go to your view, show sample controller skeleton, you click on it and you see all this. Boom. Easy. So all the whole buttons you clicked, everything, you don't need to like write the code yourself. You just need to like do few things, right? So if you go to this, firstly we have to import this. So we'll go to our controller class. I don't want to copy all this thing yet, or I think it's even good if we copy it, but let's just, let me copy the heading. So if I go to my Eclipse, I would, yeah, import Java. So you import all these things. After importing it, we'll have like, then I'll go back to my scene builder, right? And I will copy all the whole fxml stuffs we need, right? So I'll now copy and and go back to SceneBuilder and I'll paste it here. Okay, so that's all we need. So now let us simply write our code by ourselves, right? So I'll try to make this thing quick. So you see all the whole definitions of our buttons, text fields, and all those things, right? So we have to know what will happen on each actions. So I'll go down here, I'll just call like ints, I'll make it an int number one for the first number. I'll just declare the functions, but I'll not yet assign the function, right? So int num2, and I'll now say int result. Yeah, so that's it. So if they click the add button, what should happen? I would do, so what we are going to do is num1, we are going to call the num1 we did is equals integer dot parse int integer dot parse int. So we now do we need a text field, right? So we now say text number one dot get text like this. Okay, so you remember your semicolon. So if we are doing it, we're going to be testing it to see that our functions work. So I'll just copy this one so it will be quick. Number one, so we get the text from the text field. The next one we're going to do gets the text from the second number. Number two, integer dot parse. Number two, gets text field. So the next one we're going to do is then the result. What should be the result? We now set the result as equals, since it's addition, we'll do num1 plus num2 like this, right? So don't forget your semicolon. And the next thing we're going to be doing is then we need the text output. We need to set something to the text output, right? So I'll now say txt output dot set text. So what should be the text? I'll now say the result of addition is, and then we'll concatenate it. So we'll just change the result to a string. So I'll say string dot value of, to change it to a string of the value of, and we'll now change it to passing the results, right? So that's it. So let's test our addition before moving on. I'll save this. Okay, go back to my main.java, and it won't still work. Because this video is too long, I'll just tell you guys straightforwardly it won't work. And why won't it work? We need to import something in our application, right? We need to import something in our application. So if we go back to our calculator dot, so we'll go to fxml, yeah, calculator.fxml, because if we run it, how do you expect our calculator to like know the controller and all those stuff, right? So I'll go back to my notes. I just added something newly to it right now. So you have to import this, you fx controller application calculator controller, right? So if I go, you go to the anchor pin, the main pin that rounded the stuff, right? So you can add it in the front or at the end, and so, but I'll just add it in the front so it will be visible for you guys. So you now say fx controller is equals to this, so the application dot calculator controller. So it we know that is the application means like this application right here dot calculator controller. So this controller, so it will work with the calculator controller, right? So we'll save it. So we'll test our add function first, so we'll know that it works. So if I run this program, hold on, yeah, so if I say 20 and I'll add here, and I'll say 10 and I'll say add, the result of addition is 30. So you see it works and it's easy and it's cool, right? So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to like fill in other parts, right? So I'll just close this, go to our calculator controller, copy these stuffs and put it in other clicks and change the results, right? So I'll copy the first one. So the second one is button div, right? I'll say tab and I'll copy it. Number one, we'll get the text for number one, get the text for number two. So the result number one. So since it's division, we'll change it to like division. And the result of, we'll say the result of division is this. So then we'll go for this one is button mode, right? So I'll copy the same thing and put there. So we get the text from num one, num two, and I'll change this to modulo, so it's get the remainder. And I'll now say I'll just change this to the remainder. The remainder is this, so it gets the remainder, right? So the next one we're going to do is same thing for multiply. Button multiply clicked. So what will happen if we click on the multiply? We'll get the text from for number one, number two. The result would be hash like this. So if you're confused, what's this number one, number two, and the result? Remember our function declarations we added up here, right? So that's it. So for the button multiply, the result of, I'll say the result of multiplication is this. Okay, so the next one we're going to be doing is, then I'll now put for subtraction, right? Subtraction, then I will now change this to subtraction. The result of subtraction is this. So that's basically it. We see that it's very easy, right? It's like, simple, just like setting up. It's mostly confusing than even writing the actual code of what you want to do. So let's test what we have done so far, right? So if I go back to my main.java and I run the application, like, cool, run the application, and I'll just say 50, and I'll say 15, right? So if we add it, 50 plus 15 would be, the result is 65, right? If we subtract it, 50 minus 15, the result of subtraction is 35. If we click on multiply, it gives you the result. If you click on division, it gives you the result as well. And if you click on mode, it says the remainder is 5. And that's just basically all we're going to be doing in this video, as I promised you guys in the beginning of this video. And so that is just it. So if you watch to this part, I'm very grateful and I really appreciate it. And so if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video, and see you on my next tutorials in JavaFX